Good morning, friends. I am doing my third video on Hathras rape, alleged rape and murder incident because it's continuously being published in the press and lot many issues are coming out. Today, we are going to discuss the part of UN highest representative or UN's top representative in India and her comments. You may be knowing Mrs. Renata Lok Desalian or Desalian they call Renata Lok Desalian. She is the India's top representative. She is the top representative of UN in India, right? So, as regards the Hathras and also Balrampur incident, she commented badly about the India that the women are being subjected to rape and other sexual abuses and there is no safety where the women in India, that the government should take stringent measures to curb this menace like that. She has passed comments. Now, the Foreign Affairs Ministry took it as an intrusion into the Indian politics, right? So, normally they are requesting the UNO to take her back or the person will be treated as a persona non grata, right? No doubt there will be so many things, but please remember why I am putting this video is because of the immunity, because of the privileges given to the diplomats, chargé d'affaires, ambassadors, or all these people. According to Vienna Convention Act 1961, their offices are inviolable. You cannot go and arrest him, you cannot go and do anything in his office. His office, including the staff, including his relatives, they are totally inviolable. That is the privilege given to the foreign envoys. So, Madam Renata Lok Desalian is also belonging to that category. Right? Okay. The purpose of the UN representative here is to maintain the international peace and security, to see that the security is not disturbed. For that, she has got the observer status. She can travel from any place to any place in India. She can discuss with anybody. She can do, but she has to inform these things to the UNO. She cannot directly meddle with or interfere in the Indian politics because it is not her domestic jurisdiction, right? Now, what she is doing is, she thought it fit to preach the government about ensuring justice to Hathras and Balrampur cases. You may be knowing, we have forgotten about Balrampur case. When the Hathras case, you are all knowing about that Valmiki and a lot of, last night I have seen that Republic TV wherein stated that there is a conspiracy to involve the Thakurs into this issue. Lot of commotion is being created in this issue, for pro and con also. People now, the Thakurs, on behalf of Thakurs, so many people also, I think Republic TV is supporting the Thakurs, or whatever it is. So in Balrampur also, another such incident happened. A woman was kidnapped by some persons, she was raped and left over. And of course, even though the people are arrested, it is also another ghastly incident of rape in Uttar Pradesh itself. So she has stated the government has to take into consideration and do justice, ensure justice in these two cases, right? And she has normally, they will not stop with those two sentences. She has she has made comments about the gender-based violence. That means sexual abuse of women. And normally she has transgressed the social norms also, right? Now, the Foreign Ministry, headed by, of course, Anurag Srivastava is an officer, he says her intervention is totally unwarranted and should have been avoided, right? So, because number one, the government has taken necessary action, it has formulated the SIT and it has welcomed the CBI investigation also, and they are investigating the matter. The investigation is underway. So, therefore, she need not tell anything about the rule of law or justify the India's rule of law. We are doing our best, right? Not only the incident. During April, that is during this lockdown period or COVID-19 pandemic, Madam Renata Lok-Dessallian, she has commented about the issue of the migrant also. So she has comments about the migrants issue, and also some of the some sects were stigmatized. That means some people were not being taken off. Thus, the so-called diplomat is clearly venturing into the domestic political territory, and she is making unnecessary comments and also remarks which are not warranted and which are aligned. Normally, we know the opposition parties will be doing that, but she is taking charge of the opposition parties. Right now, a situation has come where she not only, of course, normally what we do is, because she is from diplomatic category, we used to chastise them mildly through UNO, but those days have gone. Now we have definitely we have to demand the United Nations to withdraw her as the resident coordinator and appoint somebody who is fit to do the job. Why? Because her previous history goes to say that she worked in China. She worked in China from 2010 to 2013. At that time, she did not utter any word about the minorities in Xinjiang, that is in Hong Kong. That is atrocities against Muslims of Uyghur Muslims, they called. They are being almost subjected to genocide by the mainland China. She did not open her mouth in that incident. Secondly, she did not raise anything about the authoritarianism of Xi Jinping in China. Of course, he is permanent elected president. Nobody can surpass him, right? So, even basing on her recommendations, Michelle Bachelet, she is the commissioner for United Nations Human Rights Commissioner. Michelle Bachelet, very recently, she also commented in the 45th convention, international convention. She also commented about the issue of Jammu and Kashmir. So that violations of human rights, that the internet is being not connected, and of course now she is happy to say that see that some of the leaders who were house arrested, they were released, but still something has to be done. And she also commented adversely on the CAA, that is Michelle Bachelet. So definitely thus they are interfering in our issue. But what to do? Now the issue has come. What to do? Right, you may be knowing, according to the Constitution, Article 361, it gives certain privileges to the President and governors of a state. So according to Article 361, the President and Governor are not answerable to any court, of course, during the term of his office. And no criminal proceedings should be conducted against them. They should no arrest or no imprisonment. Of course, civil proceedings can be taken up, but to Attorney General, and that to prior notice under Section 80 CPC has to be given. These are the privileges given to the President and Governor, or Raj Pramukhs they call, right? Okay. Same thing will apply to the diplomats also. Now she is equal to the cadre of a diplomat. Madam Renata Lok-Dessallian. So she is a diplomat. So according to the Vienna Convention 1961, since they are diplomatic agents, and of course their duty is only to observe the things and inform and to develop the good relations between the organization and our country, they should make efforts. So at the same time, their privileges. So according to the international law or Vienna Convention, they have got diplomatic immunity from jurisdiction by the receiving states. That means, number one, their offices, including their relatives' offices in India, they are inviolable. That means nobody can enter the premises. Normally, whenever the police get information under Section 41 CRPC, they can arrest every person. But here they cannot go into the office. That's why Tehran, the United States embassy in Tehran, it was actually encircled by the Iranians, even though the government of USA asked the Iranian government to disperse them. They did not disperse, and ultimately when USA was about to send their bombarding flights, then only they were separated. So Iran, so that is the immunity. So nobody can enter inside the so-called diplomatic office. Then they are Of course, diplomatic baggages, yes, diplomatic baggages, they should not be checked. That is the issue that Swapna Suresh in Kerala. So that UAE diplomat he has authorized, and straight away they are smuggling gold into Kerala without anybody's check. Of course, incidentally, on the fateful day in Kerala, since the UAE ambassador, that consular was not there, he was staying in UAE. Therefore, they got it out and checked it. Otherwise, so much of smuggling. Of course, you may be knowing, Kerala is famous for gold smuggling. That's why even Joy Alka, Jose Alka, Zinca, so many things have been coming up. Of course, I don't say that they are smugglers, but smuggling activity in gold smuggling, definitely it is there. Very recently, one MLA was also arrested, and yesterday the people connected in the Swapna Suresh case, they were arrested in Dubai also, right? Likewise, the baggage cannot be checked, and their items are not taxable. You can't impose any tax on them, right? The communications, you can't bug their telephones, or you can't tap their telephones. Telephone tapping is an important issue in India. Of course, it has almost made one senior politician leave Hyderabad and settle down in this place. Then they can go to any place, movement and travel. There should be no restriction. Only thing is that diplomatically we can treat the concerned person as a persona non grata. That means we do not have any gratitude. That's why her gratuitous statements cannot be tolerated. Of course, it is for the government whether to take any diplomatic action or not. But please remember, so the why I made this video is you must know about the immunities, privileges given to the diplomats, as well as according to Article 361 to the President and Governor. Thank you.